Hello. This video is going to show you how to send a portal message in two different ways through Centricity EMR. So the first way is directly in the patient's chart. And so what we'll do is we'll get to a test chart, which we'll select Actions, Find Patient, and use the last name ZZ Test. And I'm just going to pick any random one here. And if you have a portal message that you would like to send out to the patient, for example, lab results or, requesting them to make an appointment or, something like that, if the patient's used the portal before, this is a pretty simple way to do it. So you would go to Update, which will open a new chart document. And then for encounter type, you're going to scroll down here to this thing called ZSM template. And you can change the summary if you would like right here. You can put email about labs and click OK. And that's going to open up this. Now, if this is blank and there is no email address there, that means the patient's email address is not entered in registration in Centricity. So you cannot send a portal message to them, even if you know their email address. Not through this mechanism. There is a different mechanism you could send an email to the patients, which I'll show you a second. But we're going to pretend there's an email address here. And I'm just going to make it up. Okay. And then you would type your message, whatever you wanted to say in there. I'll say something like, it's time to repeat your lab results. Your lab tests again. So I type my message, and then at the bottom here, you want to click off this box that says reply to chart, because what that's going to do is if the patient replies to this portal message, it will go into the EMR chart instead of into the messaging tab, which makes it a little bit more straightforward to find. So you don't have to worry about any of these, and you can click close. So then the message will not send until you click sign. So you're going to click end update, and you're going to sign it. And I usually, I realize I didn't do it here, but I'll usually after the message, put sincerely Dr. Mancuso or something like that. So that message will, go to the patient as long as they have an email address in there. If the patient does not have an email address in the registration system and it doesn't come up there, the staff that are front desk staff can usually add an email address for a patient. It's just the patient has to confirm it for them. So, all right, so that's the first way. The second way is to use something called the messaging tab. So for the messaging tab, you're going to go back to your desktop. And up across the top here, you have all of these tabs. And the messaging tab is this one, so you're going to click on it. And this is a way to send an email. It looks a little bit more like an email than inside the EMR, and it also allows you to attach documents that are already in the patient's chart. So in order to send that, you have to have been in the patient you want to send the email to. You have to have just been in their chart, nobody else's. And then you're going to click New Message. So now in this message, we can see again that we have a no email address on file. So if you knew the patient's email address and they have confirmed it with you, you could add it here. Just keeping in mind that, for HIPAA, you want to make sure that you're not just randomly emailing people. So I'll do that again. Just make up an email address here that I know is not going to go anywhere. This is a test chart. And then the subject line, you don't want to put any PHI in the subject line. So you're going to say something like a message from Rowan Family Medicine. All right. And then you'll type your message. Okay, so I'll say sincerely, Dr. Mancuso. Then I said I would attach our last lab results. So if you go to EMR chart, you can go through and pick anything that you want. Now, it does not look like they have any lab results in this test chart. So, we'll pretend that this, immunizations or something, let's say, this orders only. So we'll pretend this orders only note is a lab report for the sake of this demonstration, but you would click on whichever document you wanted to send to the patient. So click back to message. Everything looks like I want it to. Then we're going to go up to the top here, and there's this thing that says CC to chart, no provider selected, unsigned. So you want to save yourself a step here by making the document go into the chart signed. So if you click on this, it's blue, it has a link, you can click on it. You can select the provider, you can select yourself. You click on yourself there and you can click signed. And then it's going to go into the patient chart already signed. You're sending it right now. You don't need to sign it when it gets to the EMR. So you click done. All right, and then you would click, once it stops spinning there, click send, and it'll send. And so you want to make sure this reply to chart button is clicked as well. That will, once you click that once ever in a portal message, it will always be clicked. So just make sure that's clicked because that's going to allow, again, the reply to not come to this inbox where you have to look for it, where it'll go right into the patient chart. So now if we go back to our chart, we shall see in a minute, it'll populate in. Here it is. And so this is what it looks like when it comes in from you doing it on the messaging tab. And it tells you what you attached and it shows you that. Patient portal messages, when they come in, will come in generally to the triage folder of where the provider that they're trying to portal message lives. So if it was me, for example, my home location is Washington Township MOB, so the portal message would come to the triage folder there. And then whoever's reviewing the triage folder would look and see, okay, this is a message that can wait for Mancuso to come back, or this is a message that I should deal with and then send her, what I did afterwards. We'll talk more about cross coverage and triage folders in a different training video, but that is the ins and outs of sending a portal message.